I never thought I'd see a grown woman get chased by the police over a school bus. But that's exactly what happened on my quiet little street. One minute she was sipping her coffee and blocking the bus like she owned the road. The next, she was flooring her Lexus down the cul-de-sac while kids on the bus cheered like they were watching an action movie. That morning started like any other. Maple Grove Circle was calm, birds chirping, sprinklers ticking, the kind of suburb where drama usually meant someone's trash can got tipped over. I was halfway through my first sip of coffee when I heard a honk, not angry, just a polite double beep. But even that was enough to make me look up. The big yellow school bus was stuck at the end of the block, and right in front of it sat Karen Miller's silver Lexus parked sideways across both lanes like she'd planted a flag. Her hazard lights were blinking steam, fogging up her windshield, and she was just sitting there holding her ceramic mug like she was hosting brunch. The bus driver, Mr. Warren, got out calm as always. He walked up and tapped on her window. Once, twice. Finally, the window rolled down an inch. "What's the emergency?" she asked. "You're blocking the bus, ma'am. The kids can't load." "I'm waiting for someone," she said, taking a slow sip. "Can't you just go around?" He gestured toward the street behind him. "It's a cul-de-sac, ma'am. There's no way around." Karen sniffed. "Sounds like a design flaw." By then, a small crowd of parents had started gathering, backpacks in hand, kids shifting nervously. I spotted my neighbor Jen, arms crossed, trying not to explode. Marcus, the dad with twin boys, was muttering curses under his breath. Mr. Warren tried again. "Ma'am, I need you to move." Karen gasped, clutching her chest like she'd been attacked. "You're yelling at me." He hadn't even raised his voice, but she pulled out her phone and started recording. "This is harassment," she announced. "I feel very unsafe right now." A wave of groans swept through the crowd. Jen called out, "Karen, you've got to move your car. Our kids are late." Karen's head snapped toward her. "I'm not Karen," she snapped. "Sure you're not," Marcus muttered. The tension was thick enough to taste. The bus driver took a deep breath, clearly trying to keep it together. "Please, just back up 10 feet. We'll be out of your way in under a minute." Karen revved her engine slightly. "You're all ganging up on me. This is exactly why people leave neighborhoods like this." "Because we want our kids to get to school on time," Jen shot back. Karen didn't respond. She rolled up her window, shifted the car into drive, then inched forward until her bumper nearly touched the bus. She parked like that, trapping it completely, then got out coffee mug in one hand, phone still recording in the other, and walked up to her porch. She sat down on her front steps, flipped open a magazine, and started reading. "I swear for a moment no one knew what to do," Mr. Warren muttered. "I've called the non-emergency line. They're sending someone." "Hope it's fast," Jen said. "If my kid misses another quiz because of this lady—" Karen looked up sweetly. "Not my problem. Maybe they should study harder." That did it. Marcus, usually the calm one, handed his coffee to a neighbor and started walking across the lawn. 3 other parents followed. Jen pulled out her phone and started live streaming. Karen saw them coming and immediately started shouting. "And now a mob of angry parents is trespassing on my private property, threatening my safety." "No one's threatening you," Marcus said. "Just move your car." "I feel unsafe," she shrieked. "Stay back, I'll press charges." "You're not even blocked in," Jen said. "You can literally reverse 6 feet." Karen stood up. "You people are unhinged. This is why the world is falling apart. Entitled parents and your precious little brats." That word brats set everyone off. A mom in running gear stepped forward. "Did you just call our kids brats?" Karen's face twitched. "I didn't mean—" Too late. The crowd was moving forward now, not violent, just fed up. Karen panicked, dropped her mug, and bolted inside, slamming the door behind her. "Unbelievable," Marcus muttered. "She's actually going to call the cops on us." But when she came back out, she wasn't holding a phone. She was holding a clipboard. "A formal neighborhood citation," she announced, tapping the board. "For mob intimidation, trespassing," and she squinted dramatically, "aggressive parenting." Jen laughed out loud. Aggressive parenting. Karen scribbled something and marched straight up to Marcus, slapped the paper against his chest. Served. He let it fall to the grass. Karen turned toward the rest of us. "Any other threats of violence I should know about? Because I'm documenting everything for the HOA." Someone called out, "We don't even have an HOA." Karen blinked unfazed. "Well, maybe we should, starting today." And that's when I felt a strange mix of disbelief and dread. She actually believed she had authority. Then we all saw it, the patrol car rolling up the street. Officer Ramirez. Calm, steady, no nonsense. He parked, stepped out, crossed his arms. "Good morning," he said. "Mind telling me why you're blocking a school bus?" Karen froze mid-step. "Oh, I was just about to move." He tilted his head. "You were also issuing citations to your neighbors." She looked down at the clipboard, laughed nervously. "Just a misunderstanding." He nodded slowly. "I see. I'm going to need to see your license and registration." Her face turned crimson. "Are you serious?" "Very." She sighed dramatically, like she was the victim of some great injustice. "I'll be right back," she muttered. She climbed into her Lexus, started the engine, and instead of reversing, she floored it. Tires screeched. The car shot forward, swerving down the cul-de-sac. Officer Ramirez didn't even blink. He grabbed his radio. "Dispatch, this is Unit 7. Suspect just fled the scene in a silver Lexus. Plates coming now." The street erupted in disbelief. Jen's mouth hung open. "She just ran." "She really just ran," I said. The kids on the bus started cheering. "Go, go, go," they shouted, pressing their faces against the glass. It was chaos. Ridiculous, hilarious, terrifying all at once. Officer Ramirez jumped back into his cruiser, hit the sirens, and tore off after her. And just like that, our sleepy little neighborhood had turned into a live episode of Cops. For a long moment, none of us said a word. The parents stood there in stunned silence, the bus idling quietly, kids whispering behind the windows. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I shouldn't have answered, but I did. A voicemail. "You think this is over?" The voice hissed through static. "I know where you live." I froze. The tone was unmistakable. It was her. That night I barely slept. Every noise outside made me jump. I kept replaying the morning over and over, her face, her voice, the chaos. A part of me started to wonder, had we pushed her too far? Were we the bullies in this story? Maybe she really did feel unsafe. Maybe she was just lonely, misunderstood. Then I remembered the kids, their scared little faces, the way she'd called them brats, the way she'd laughed as their parents begged her to move. No, this wasn't fear, it was control. She enjoyed it. By the next morning, word had spread. The police had caught her at the intersection by the supermarket. She'd refused to pull over at first, then finally stopped ranting about false accusations and citizen rights. Officer Ramirez came back later that afternoon, calm as ever. He gave us the rundown: reckless driving, obstruction, failure to comply. She'd been booked, processed, and released pending a hearing. As he left, he turned to me and said quietly, "Don't worry, we've got eyes on her street for now." When the patrol car rolled away, I stood at the end of my driveway again. The air was calm. The school bus was right where it belonged, parked by the curb, kids laughing as they climbed aboard. For the first time in weeks, Maple Grove Circle felt like a neighborhood again. I looked down at my phone. Karen's voicemail still saved there. My finger hovered over delete, but I didn't press it. I wanted to remember that voice, that moment when arrogance met consequence. And maybe, just maybe, the sound of those sirens in the distance was enough of a reminder. Because power, real or imagined, means nothing when it's built on fear.